The battle over reproductive rights in the United States has been an unyielding front in the political arena, particularly after the Supreme Court's controversial decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. For many women, this reversal has dramatically reshaped access to abortion and reproductive health care. In the aftermath, one figure has emerged as the most prominent and passionate voice on this issue: Vice President Kamala Harris. On a blazing day in Georgia, Harris held a massive rally where she didn't just rally supporters. She delivered a fiery, impassioned defense of women's rights, calling out her political opponents with surgical precision. The event wasn't short of memorable moments, but one unexpected interaction between Harris and a heckler has gone viral, captivating the internet and adding another chapter to her ongoing battle with the Republican Party over women's health. But before we dive into that viral moment, let's take a step back to reflect on the broader significance of this rally. Harris's speeches have become a cornerstone of the Biden administration's defense of reproductive rights, and her message has been clear: women's rights are non-negotiable. Since the day Roe v. Wade was overturned, Vice President Kamala Harris has been at the forefront of the Biden administration's efforts to combat state-imposed restrictions on abortion and reproductive health care. The Georgia rally was yet another example of how deeply committed Harris is to this cause. As she stood on stage, her voice carried the weight of millions of women whose rights have been systematically stripped away by abortion bans sweeping across the United States. 1 in 3 women in America lives in a state with a Trump abortion ban, Harris declared, reminding the audience of the grim reality facing millions. This includes Georgia and every state in the South except Virginia. These words cut to the heart of the issue, painting a picture of a country where women's autonomy over their own bodies is under siege. Harris went further, pointing out the broader systemic neglect of women's health care, particularly in marginalized communities. She spoke about the long-standing issues that have plagued women in America, from maternal mortality rates to inadequate access to health care services. Think about that when you compound that with the neglect of communities with a lack of resources for health care prenatal during pregnancy and postpartum, she urged, her voice filled with emotion. Harris's rhetoric wasn't just aimed at shedding light on the state of women's health care. It was also a direct attack on the hypocrisy of her opponents. These hypocrites want to talk about what's in the best interest of women and children. Well, where have you been? She asked, her frustration evident. How dare they? The crowd erupted in applause, standing with Harris as she called out the moral inconsistency of those who claim to support women while working tirelessly to strip away their rights. Harris didn't stop at abortion bans. She also set her sights on the Republicans who blocked a bill in the Senate that would guarantee access to IVF, in vitro fertilization, treatments nationwide. For Harris, this was the epitome of hypocrisy. How could a party that claims to care about family values block a measure that helps couples start families? On the one hand, these extremists want to tell women they don't have the freedom to end an unwanted pregnancy, Harris said, her voice sharp with disdain. On the other hand, they're telling women and their partners they don't have the freedom to start a family. This pointed critique resonated with the audience, who knew all too well the tightrope many women must walk between restrictive abortion laws and limited access to fertility treatments. And they want to restrict access to contraception as well, Harris added, pointing to the broader agenda of the conservative movement. By this point, it was clear to everyone in the room that the fight wasn't just about abortion. It was about control, about dictating every aspect of a woman's reproductive health. But the rally wasn't all serious. In a moment of levity, Harris shifted gears and referenced her recent debate with former President Donald Trump. The mention of Trump immediately drew laughter from the crowd, who were eager to relive the verbal sparring that had unfolded on the debate stage. And in our debate last week, well, that was fun, Harris said with a grin, knowing full well how the crowd would respond. I know everyone here paid attention to the words, though. The words, right? The crowd erupted in laughter, fully aware of the outcome of that debate. Harris had dog-walked Trump across the stage for an hour and 45 minutes, and while Trump may have tried to spin the event in his favor, the audience knew better. The laughter in the room wasn't just about a momentary victory. It was about seeing Harris stand toe-to-toe with a political giant and come out on top. Then came the moment that's now taking the internet by storm. In the middle of Harris's speech, a heckler shouted something from the crowd, disrupting the rally. What followed was a masterclass in how to handle a disruption with poise and humor. Donald Trump says that he would personally cast his vote in Florida, which is where he now lives, to support their extreme abortion ban, just like the one here in Georgia, Harris said, seamlessly transitioning from the heckler's outburst back into her prepared remarks. The crowd roared with laughter, appreciating Harris's quick wit and her ability to keep the mood light while making a serious point. It was a powerful moment that showed not only Harris's command of the stage but also her ability to connect with the audience in real time. The heckler may have tried to throw her off, but Harris turned the moment into a rallying cry against Trump and his policies. It was a viral sensation in the making, and one that solidified her reputation as a political force to be reckoned with. As the rally continued, Harris's focus returned to Trump and his record. Donald Trump will be able to vote in November, she said, her voice dripping with irony. But this just shows what a ridiculous candidate he is. Why did the Republican Party nominate this guy who's got 34 felony convictions and plenty more to come? Harris didn't pull any punches, reminding the crowd of Trump's legal troubles and calling into question the integrity of a political party willing to stand behind a candidate with such a tarnished record. The crowd's response was thunderous applause, reaffirming their shared disdain for the former president. As Kamala Harris wrapped up her speech, it was clear that this rally wasn't just another campaign stop. It was a defining moment in her fight for reproductive rights and against the Trump-led Republican Party. With each passing event, Harris's star continues to rise, and her message resonates louder and clearer with the American people. Harris has become the face of reproductive rights in the United States, and with moments like these going viral, it's no surprise that she's capturing the nation's attention. The Georgia rally is just one of many examples of how Harris is becoming an indispensable voice in the fight for women's rights. As the 2024 election looms, Harris's ability to engage and inspire large audiences will only grow in importance. And if this rally is any indication, she's more than ready for the fight ahead. Expect to see many more viral moments as Harris continues to take her message across the country, challenging her opponents and standing up for the rights of women everywhere. In the end, Kamala Harris didn't just humiliate Donald Trump. She gave voice to millions of women who refused to be silenced. And for that, she deserves every ounce of the viral attention she's getting.